Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Mark Latham. I am the music director of the wonderful Wellesley Symphony Orchestra, and I am inviting you personally to our concert, which is going to happen on Sunday the 8th of February at 2 p.m. at Wellesley High School. We're playing a wonderful program, in a way quite intimately connected each piece. Pieces by Copland, Aaron Copland, the American composer, by Chavez, the Mexican composer, and Ludwig van Beethoven, his third symphony. And what is delightful is that each piece in a way is connected in emotional import or gravity, one might say. The first half, the pieces are connected because Aaron Copland, who wrote, of course, both the Fanfare, the Common Man, which opens the program, and Chavez were good friends, in fact. And it seems likely that Chavez was the one in 1942 was very influential on Copland, in a way changing his style from being very dissonant and avant-garde to the Copland we all know and love, the sort of folk music, choral music traditions that he used in his symphonies and in his pieces, his chamber music, and in his orchestral pieces like Rodeo, Billy the Kid, and indeed Lincoln Portrait. And in 1942, Chavez was asked to write a piece reflecting, in a way, the folk music of his native Mexico, which he duly did. So it's a symphony. It's called Symphony India, because some of the tunes he uses are from the indigenous peoples of Mexico. And it's in three parts, and so it's, in a way, it's a standard symphonic work, although it's quite short and there's no pause. It's very exciting. It's got a huge rhythmic drive. As I said, it uses beautiful folk tunes from various indigenous peoples of Mexico. Then the two Copland pieces, we're doing Fanfare for the Common Man, also in, I think it's 1941, but very close to 1942, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Copland was commissioned to write a piece along with some other composers that would reflect, in a way, the patriotic spirit of America. And he came up with this title, Fanfare for the Common Man, because he said the following. He said, it's for the common man who, after all, was doing all the dirty work in the war. So that's the Fanfare for the Common Man. Brass, a big brass section and percussion. And then we will be doing his Lincoln Portrait, which is composed very shortly thereafter, also commissioned by a different conductor, to celebrate, in a way, American values. And Copland, he looked at who shall I choose as the person of honor, so to speak, about whom he would write in music. Initially he chose Walt Whitman, but he was persuaded by the conductor Kosterlitz to choose Abraham Lincoln. And so the first half, in a way, he's setting up musically what Lincoln might have looked like, how he might have felt like if you were in his presence. Very noble, very grand, very solemn in a way. And then the second half is narrated, and we've got a beautiful narrator, David Padell, who is president of Mass Bay Community College. And so there's a great deal of solemnity in the work, particularly as it finishes with an excerpt from the Gettysburg Address. And of course, this music, one could say, is very appropriate for this time. The second half of our program is the amazing, revolutionary Third Symphony of Ludwig van Beethoven. In it, he himself explores issues of mourning, of tragedy, of joy, of freedom. It was composed shortly after he was told that he was going to go permanently deaf, and he contemplated suicide. Could he take it? That, you know, he who should have had the most wonderful hearing in all of Europe was told he was going to be deaf. And but he decided against taking his own life, in a way, for our benefit. So he comes back to Vienna in 1802 and begins what is called his heroic period. And one of the first works emerging from this period is this third symphony itself, called the Eroica. Initially it was dedicated to Napoleon, but when Beethoven found out that Napoleon had crowned himself emperor, he scratched out the dedication in the score, and you can still see this. There's a little tear in the page. You can still see it on his original manuscript. Also on our program are the first and second movements of the double bass concerto by Koussevitsky, and he was a wonderful bass player, and we have a wonderful bassist who was a runner-up in our recent concerto competition. So Merrick Millian will be playing the first and second movements of the Koussevitsky bass concerto. So that is our program, these wonderful pieces, connected, as I said, in spirit, in emotion, and as music does, it expresses everything there is, in a way, to be felt in these times in our own personal lives and for humanity. Thank you. I hope to see you there.